Hey friends, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kate. Here on this channel, we do mom life together. I am a Christian mama and a foster parent, so we talk a lot about that, but we also talk a lot about living with intention, living with purpose. So if any of that interests you, I'd love to have you subscribe and join the community here. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. So I recently redid my blog. I redid everything. I was just going through some of my old posts and just kind of remembering my foster care journey and just remembering certain kiddos we've had in the past. And I never used to make videos when I first started blogging. So I wanted to do a little bit of a story time or just sharing my journey for you. I know not all of you go back through the archives of my blog and read all of my posts, but I think this is a really valuable story and I wanted to share it with you. And it came to me because one of the girls at my church is actually just been licensed as a foster parent and they just got their first placement, and you know, in the flurry of getting everything ready for them, because it wasn't exactly what they expected, and in the end I think the child's going to a kinship care, so placement fell through. So I wanted to share with you guys about when a placement fell through, and this was our very first official placement. So I got called for a brand new itty bitty tiny baby. She was 5 pounds. Her birth was actually on the news in our area, and I was excited because we had been waiting, you know, since being licensed. It had been a couple months. We've been waiting and waiting, and you know, we didn't necessarily get into foster care to do infants straight from the hospital, but I think deep down in my heart, like I would have loved, you know, I would love to have that connection, to be that person that that child bonded with right from the beginning. I think that's a really special thing. So even though it's not necessarily what I wanted or what I expressed, deep down I think that was my heart's biggest desire, just to be able to create that bond. So anyways, I got my friend to come to babysit the kids. The kids weren't in school yet at this time. This was, like I said, a few years ago because it was our first placement. And I raced over to the hospital to meet the baby, and I get there and this is the first time, right? So I don't know anything. And they kind of made me wait, and I had to speak to a social worker and then of course show my ID, and I didn't really know the protocol. Like I said, I was a new foster parent. So anyways, they roll out this itty bitty little tiny baby in her little crib thing, and she's attached to all these wires, IVs and all of that. And you know, at first I was really like frightened because of all the wires, and she just seemed so fragile, and I was scared to pick her up. And anyways, I ended up picking her up and snuggling her and holding her and falling in love with her. And I snuggled her for an hour and a half, and then my babysitter could only stay for a little bit, so I was going to get back to her when my husband was home, take the kids to another friend's, and we were going to come back so my husband could meet the baby. And I got home and there was an email. I wasn't looking at my phone in the hospital, I guess, but there was an email saying, hold off on going to visit the baby at the hospital. The plans might be changing. So I guess the worker didn't know that I had already been there. So in any event, what ended up happening was, for whatever reason, I wasn't supposed to be called. Either the foster home that ended up taking her was on hold, so it didn't come up in the system or whatnot. But she had siblings that had been adopted already to a foster home, and of course that foster mom wanted her to keep her with the siblings. So I don't know if she said no at first or they were closed, or I don't know why I got called or what the mix-up was, but it was like heartbreaking because I fell in love with her so quickly, and it was like, you know, telling the girls like, you have a new baby sister we're gonna take care of, and so excited. And then just as quickly as it happened, it was all taken from me. And you know, I almost had these feelings of when I had my miscarriage and all the excitement of being pregnant, and then how quickly that was taken from me. And you know, it was a loss. And even though I only held her for an hour and a half, it was still hard. And I still think about her to this day. She's gonna, you know, she's 3 years old now, and I wonder what she's like. And of course she is where she's meant to be. She's with her brothers. She's with a wonderful foster mom. I was actually able to meet the foster mom. She happened to be in the same support group as me, and she was like, oh, you were supposed to have my baby, or she said something along those lines. This was a while ago, and I knew immediately what she was talking about. And you know, obviously our story was not meant to be together, and she was adopted I think when she was 8 months old, and she is where she's meant to be, and I'm so happy for her and happy for the whole way that that situation worked out, and everything happens for a reason, and I'm, you know, no regrets or anything like that. But I just, you know, wanted to share the story with you guys because sometimes foster placements fall through. I remember our first very first call, I think she was 6 or 8 months old, I can't remember now. And again, we were so excited, but then she ended up going to kin. And then our next call was for a mom who was pregnant, hadn't had the baby yet, but they knew that the baby would be coming into care. We ended up getting another placement before that happened. So that placement kind of fell through too. So, you know, sometimes you get calls and it doesn't always work out, but you still, like, as soon as you get that call and you know about that child, you form this attachment. And I think, you know, I get messages from people. I got one just last week, and this girl wasn't officially licensed, but her agency called. You know, the child's case was outside of the realm of what they were able to say yes to, and there was a sibling involved and all of that. But she felt so much guilt for saying no, and I totally get that, because that attachment happens as soon as you hear about that child and you know that there's a child who was neglected or abused, or, you know, that's sitting in an office somewhere who just needs parents to love. Like, you want to be that for that person. I think that's that loving, nurturing nature inside of a foster parent. So just know that that happens often and quickly and right away. And I just wanted to share this story with you guys today. Like I said, I was going through old blog posts and this just came to mind. And, you know, and she just would have turned 3 last month. So I just wanted to share this with you. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. If you're a foster parent, give this video a thumbs up. Share this video with other foster families that you may know, or anyone that you think might find the content on this channel interesting. I would appreciate that so much. Subscribe if you're new. I would love to have you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.